that the colonialists was sort of unleashing on them. They are now turning that into something of strength. Nigeria is still there, waiting for the reform, the this, the that to happen. They are looking at them. Some of those of you who were laughing at them, you call them poor nation today, but they are actually making some decisions. I know it's not going to happen so easily. But what do they have to lose? America will not let them. Kinikon will not let them. These guys are no longer living in that fear anymore. That's something you should see. They are making these bold steps because they are not sitting back crying. See what they are doing to us. Because we told them to leave, they have destroyed our country. Because we told them to leave us alone. Look at what they are doing. They are not doing that. They know they will do this to them. So, what do we have to lose for trying? Having our own common currency, generating our own electricity that we share among ourselves, so to our people enough that, build our own with the help of Russia and China. They are now contemplating of building their own nuclear power. It is for electricity, they say. And all it's going to take is just for Russia or China to ship any of their nuclear aid to any of these countries. Yes, America and the rest of them will say they're sanctioning them. Of course. But do you know that is not the only thing I want you to see about this? Because this is how it kind of concerns you, all right, and me. There is this conversation around where to relocate all these bases to. I'm talking about the American base, the French base in these countries because they've been kicked out. Now they are talking to other countries. Ghana, I think Ghana have the American base or something in Ghana. But they wanted the base to be next to these countries. And because of this, Nigeria and the US and France, they are already in talk. We have this, we kind of had this chat on this platform a few months back, right? Okay. I just don't want you to wake up tomorrow and feel like things are moving too fast. They are not really moving that too fast. You just need to pay attention to things that have happened and things that are happening. They needed to move all these bases elsewhere, but not far away. Benin Republic is close to Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali. Nigeria is close to Mali and Niger. And Nigeria is really the perfect place for them to put their base. Because they need to be so close enough to know what Russia is doing with these people in this country. I saw a video earlier today. I was going to share that with you, but I was like, maybe some other time. Some Americans are already, I don't know if you have seen that, and I actually feel bad that I didn't bring that video, okay? But there are some Americans who are already returning to Burkina Faso. In Burkina Faso, they speak French, right? I've been a Portuguese. Okay, speak French. That kind of reminds me of Accra, 1954, from this book. When Ghana was about to become independent, and some Black Americans decided, including Martin Luther King, decided to visit Ghana. Some of them, in fact, started some Black organizations, this organization, that, to support the freedom of Africa, this, da. if you have been following this book. But I have started seeing that play out already. Americans, French, they have been kicked out of these countries. And they have been told that if they want to if they want to do business with them, they would have to do that on their terms. Now I've started seeing Americans returning back to Burkina Faso because according to them, it is now the cradle of the Africans who want to return back to Africa. Same playbook. Again, like I said, I don't want to start making, I don't want to say much enough that will make it look like, this thing don't sound like. It's not about what it sounds like. It's about the fact and what I am saying. Pieces of info that you need to put together and tell yourself, what is it that is coming? Americans want to know what is going on inside our place. So they are not leaving. They can know what is happening in Niger Republic, in all these countries, right there from their base in America, in Pennsylvania, and all these places. It won't be like having the boots on ground. A place whereby within 15 minutes or within an hour, they are already in the country. They have troops are there. If there are things they need to quickly blast and destroy, if there are things they need to have a covert operation and make sure that it's gotten you know what I mean? Like they need the boot on ground. And that is where Nigeria is. But having the boot on ground, simply just say, us in Africa, that I just want to live our lives peacefully, raise our family, and just enjoy life as much as we can, and then die peacefully and become ancestors to our children, who are always going to be calling on us on the issues that bothers them. We do not want to involve in their World War III preparation. We do not wish to be part of the people, the ignorant generation that will help them set the stage for the Russia, China, America, NATO, and the rest of them confrontation. Let's help them set the stage in Africa. All for what? Because that's what it is going to come down to. Because anything that America considers as a threat, they do not joke with it. It doesn't matter the Turenshi you are speaking or anything, they don't care. But there is a way that they will care if the puppets that will decide if this is going to happen or not have been taken out. Then you have a chance to get them to care. But right now, the doom upon Nigeria, apart from the hunger and the rest of things that you are currently battling with, is the fact that these guys are setting the stage for what is going to become the battleground for the famous projected World War III. And this is what will make it World War III. Let me say this. Right now, the whole world is already at war. In case if you don't know, pay attention, because when you look at this Palestine, the Hamas versus the Israel, and you see the Russia versus Ukraine, and then you see all the countries that are all together backing side A, backing side B, using different kind of warfare, economy, and others to fight themselves. This is already happening. We already have those who are bombing themselves on the part of the Koreans, the Japanese, the Chinese, who are testing different bombs at different islands in this other part of this Asian Pacific. Everyone is preparing for something we don't know. All it will take is just to say, Russia, they fight Ukraine. Now they probably drop bomb on the UK, Germany, and the rest. Now they are also dropping bomb in Moscow. At the same time, America said don't they collect. China and the rest of them are also, then you kind of will be like, hey, what is going on? This is the stage they are setting. And I'm not being paranoid or being a conspiracy theorists. He who failed to learn from history is bound or doomed to repeat it. And this is it. These guys are taking their stand. And if there's anything called African unity, if you remove the greed and the puppet and the puppeteers relationship that has forced many African countries into poverty, this 21st century slavery. If you remove all these puppets who are making all these horrible decisions, America will have to what? Respect the decisions of all these supposed independent countries. Whatever their fear, whatever their worries, they will just have to kind of learn how to live with it and grow up with it. But you do not tell America to grow up if you do not have the ball of a iron. These guys are showing that they have the ball of iron, or ball of steel rather, balls of steel. Africans who are already raised to live in fear, courtesy of the criminals who are holding Africans down for these imperialists, right? So Africans that are already living in fear, they are projecting this fear. A lot of you are already projecting this fear on these people, but you are not seeing the bigger picture. The bigger picture there is that what the rest of you in Africa should be doing genuinely, without either being the what do you call it? Without being the puppet of the World Bank, the IMF, who are infiltrating your economy, turning them against your people. Subjecting them to generational poverty. You see, if you take all these guys out, because that's the real job, then America would have to sit on that table and say, okay, you know what, let's talk. There's a lot we have heard about North Korea. So much that a lot of people believe could happen to North Korea. It is not because America cannot take care of Kim Jong-un, but there is something the American public. See, American public, they are raised sort of to believe, to support the American foreign escapades. Rightly, wrongly, American public is made to believe that it is in the interest of America so that the terrorism will not happen in America. It is to protect America. That is why the United States of America is investing in so much abroad so that they can nip the terrorism abroad and Americans won't have to feel the brunt. But the moment they realize that the nuke man or the rocket man, Kim Jong-un, has at least the capacity rockets, the rocket with the capacity range that can level the entire Florida, that you will never see Florida on map anymore. Now, America didn't take that lightly. Whether it's going to do it or it's not going to do it is something for another day, but they know he has the capacity to do that. Yes, if that should happen, the entire North Korea will be gone from the map, agreed. But who in America is going to sanction that and kind of make that happen just to test if it's going to shoot the rocket or it's not going to shoot the rocket? So that then would have to make America to respect that boundary. They are setting boundaries. America is saying, if you try so and so, we are going to. Kim Jong-un is telling them that if you try so and so, I'm going to. So both of them are pretty much like, let somebody try something. Nobody wants to try anything. But Africans are made to believe that if you try it, it will destroy your money. They will shake it. There's nothing you can do with your resources. Listen, yes, you have all the resources. You see, if the West decided to sanction Africa, this is the fear we grew up with. And therefore, we just have to take whatever is dished out to us. And the rogues in different African countries want to make you feel like that's the best deal you can get for now. Take it, take it, take it. These countries are saying no. And I'm proud of them. I wish them well. And I hope that you probably will have many like them. Rightly or wrongly, what do they have to lose? Because that's the point. What do you think Niger is going to lose? Because America is angry. What do you think this Burkina Faso and all of them will lose? After what I told you, what they are capable of achieving. So I'm seeing the brighter side. And I'm wishing them well. I will keep paying attention to the development from that place. So back in the contraption, this is the woman. Ajia, supposedly, Ajia Farouk, Sadiya, Umar, the dishonorable, dishonorable sinister of poverty management, disaster management, and all the other nonsense title they gave her. This woman, you see, that's another thing. You that is watching me from Nigeria, you know, there is this saying that Nigerians, but we have kind of amended it now, okay? Some Nigerians are not totally against corruption, oppression. They are just not happy. I mean, they are just not happy if they are not the one benefiting from the oppression, the corruption, and the rest of that. That is when you are going to hear from their sky daddy. They have sky daddy in Nigeria. The one that is capable of just killing anybody they don't like. In Nigeria, they will kill you in Sharia law, in the name of what is called blasphemy. If you say something about the Prophet Muhammad, if you say something that some people feel offended, they will kill you. Also, they were raised to believe that leaders are appointed by Allah, God. That nobody becomes leader without the consent of Allah. And it is haram to go against them simply because you don't like them. And you must watch the way you talk about leaders. In Islam, it is haram to condemn your leaders publicly. It is haram. It is haram, right, to protest your displeasure against how you are being led. It is haram. It is un-Islamic, they said. Even though it's a lie. Or is it true? But surprisingly, stealing is not haram. Looting public fund is not haram. Kidnapping helpless people, vulnerable people for ransom is not haram. Killing innocent people is not haram. As long as you say Allahu Akbar 3 times. Raping underage girls is not haram. I mean, if you steal public fund, you deny millions of people access to public service. That should be haram. That should be a sin. Lying should be haram. But not in northern Nigeria. The Sharia north, where the hypocrites, terrorists, Islamic terrorists reign supreme. They destroyed Nigeria 64 years of existence. 64 years. 47 years. This Sharia North presented leaders that led Nigeria one time or another. And the only record they have is the poverty that becomes so prevalent in northern Nigeria that it has now become a national emblem. They failed their people so much that they weaponized that poverty. They weaponized that ignorance. These people will kill you. That you insult Muhammad. They will kill you. Eh? For their Allah. It is such a barbarism that they are not ashamed of. And it's already spreading, unfortunately. The people that kept them poor, the criminals that are sponsoring terrorists and terrorism that are making their life hell, they are still revered in their mosques, on their streets, in their palaces. Revered. Looters. Revered. Their sheikh, their clerics, they are fighting for slot to be who is going to go and pray for any of these looters on their special prayer days. And this woman from that part of Nigeria was appointed to help reduce poverty in Nigeria, especially the northern part of Nigeria. Right? She was a minister, a complete sinister. Under her, over 4 trillion naira was expended in fighting poverty in Nigeria, in lifting people out of poverty. But rather than the 4 trillion naira in 4 years to buy prosperity for people, it bought them multi-dimensional poverty that collected Guinness World Record, the poverty capital of the world. Where is the money? She said he lifted 11 million family, comprising of a total of over 60 million people that they shared all the money to. Now they are asking her, listen, you don't even need to account for the 4 trillion. Just come here and account for just 1/6 of the money. The only person that shared the government's money for 4 years and they did not write it down. There is no record of who collected what and when. The money is gone. Because the strategy then was to, and listen to me, in case if we need to value that, under Bokuwari, a dollar was in their central bank 420 naira to a dollar. Now, if a woman expended 4 trillion naira in 4 years to lift Nigerians out of poverty, only for more of them to end up in that poverty inside the rabbit hole as we speak. Now, we are talking about billions of dollars here. A woman with a job and her friends and others, they stole over 2 billion naira for themselves. Sorry, 2 trillion naira for themselves. That's a lot of money. That's the wreck they did to Nigeria. So a court has ordered that she will need to bring the record. If she presents it, I'll bring it here. If I tell you that I haven't tried to at least find something other than just conjectures, make up numbers. Imo State, they were paying money into people's bank accounts. If I had a link to any of them at the time, they could pay maybe 1 billion to my account. I should go and share the money to people in Ijebu. They could pay me 10 billion naira to go and share. Depends on my role, that's your own or your take. And if I collected the money, you just kind of look for a house in the UK. Look for a house in Dubai. Build one nice fancy house in Odogbolu, where I can build few halls. I can call all the youth to come there. I can call it Mayegun Youth Development, Mayegun Youth Hall.